Marcus Garvey message to the people. Lesson 14. Self-initiative. Every man is his own responsibility in life. Nature has never made anyone dually, but singly. Therefore, you have single responsibility. The purpose of life is to live fully. Hence, the single life must be complete, and in fact, it is so with every man. Therefore, it's the duty of every man to fall back on himself for whatever he wants. It is necessary for the man to use all of his faculties for his own protection. He has the right to reserve his self-expression and action upon which is fallen to protect and defend himself. Therefore, he must develop his faculties to do things thoroughly for himself. He must rely upon himself first for initiating all things that may be contribute to his personal well-being. Whatever he wants to do so should first come to himself, as he should know what is best for himself. Advice may be helpful, but only to the extent you have reason and judgment enough to see the value of advice. Otherwise, it may be harmful. Very few people, if any, who advise others completely do so honestly. Generally, they advise with a motive for which the individual must pay a price, whatever that price may be. Therefore, the individual policy should be that the individual develop in himself or herself the courage to do things on his or her own account. Always count the benefits and the bad results. The person who fails to be true to himself and taking the initiative to do things for himself will also find out that he or she has been a sucker for others. Always surround yourself with the talent of being able to do by yourself, so that as not to be too dependent. A person who is dependent on others is not him or herself, but the subject of others. A subject or a medium is apt to break under the influence of a controlling factor, as for instance, a hypnotist who has a controlling factor may also hypnotize his subject as to cause the subject to lose his or her mind. Therefore, never try to be the subject mentally of a factor, because a factor will destroy your opportunity for self-reliance and self-initiative. Always maintain a strong will and emphasis to the strong will, even when from the first reasonable judgments. You come to the conclusion that you are right. To the conclusion, you must have the facts before you in your mind. If the facts are good as known and possibly can gather on a particular thing on which the occasion is to be based, then don't allow anyone but the God Almighty to alter your will. Because your will is your decision, and your decision is your intelligence, and your intelligence is your personality, and your personality is your self-confidence and your initiative. Always try to help yourself. Only when you're completely satisfied do you not have the ability, the knowledge, the character, and the strength to do yourself should you call anyone for help. When you ask others for help over anything, be sure that you are very, very, very good friends or relatives. Because if the things you ask to help them out may be valuable to you, and it will be valuable to others, and they may take the value for themselves. And always that you all will get into some calling and someone else to do something for you that you should do for yourself is a disappointment. You will have a sad experience of learning how bad man is robbed of his fellow rights. Anything on earth that's of value to you is of interest to another person. If you have a good idea, try to develop yourself and master yourself before you ask for help. For it's the best, and you will have the least to share the results with those who helped you. Fear no man, and fear God, and fear no other. There is a God. No man can say there is no God, because God is like man, because no man is like God. Man has limited intelligence, and most of the man knows insufficient that he is between life and death. He is born without knowledge and dies with it or wish for it. When his birth and death is chronological and natural to be controlled by someone else. It cannot be man, because it's always a man, whether he be a big man or a small man. So powerful that gives birth that causes death will be greater than man's power. Whatever that power is, it must be absolute power. Some men call it by different names, but they all call it by the same thing, and it is God. Therefore, man says there is no God. He is a fool, for he is not as great as God. Join no one and say there is no God. Join no man in saying that he is God, for it is blasphemy. Fear God, but love God. If you love God, you need not fear God, for God is with you. If you are part of him and his goodness, you fear God only when you are conscious of being evil or wicked. You love God and work with God while you are good. There is nothing in this world that you should fear otherwise, for everything in this world is subject to you as man. Never fear man, but understand man, so as to escape the wrath of man and the master. Man is vicious, man is wicked. You also must know he is he. By knowing that he is wicked, you are able to handle him without fearing him. Meet the snares of a man with your snares. Never cringe before the stare of a man, otherwise he mastered you. Develop enough courage, character, boldness, and self-conscious to look any man in the face and hold your ground. The first time you take your eyes off of him because of a stare, he conquers you because you are unprepared. Look him straight in the eye. Keep him covered with your eye. Let him bow and walk off, not you. That's the way a man conquers a lion or a wild beast, by staring him in the eye. The moment he takes his eyes off, the beast will spring on him. The daring look of a man conquers man. The self-confidence of man conquers man. The strong character of man conquers man. The conqueror is the fellow with the boldest and longest stares. He hypnotizes victim and walk over like a worm. Never be a worm. Never oblige it. For if you oblige a man, you cannot stare him in obedience. You will have to bow before him because his grip on you. Now try to free you from all your obligations from any man, and thus be yourself. God is pleased when the man lifts himself to the true position in the kingdom of heaven and earth. Look at God and ask him for strength, and ask him for courage and righteousness, and that you will be able to do battle with the world of the man. Do not ask him for wealth, but ask him for wisdom as Solomon did. He will open to you greater knowledges of goodness, if you're good in your approach to him through prayer of wisdom. If you ask God for wisdom and understanding, you will have everything else, because wisdom and understanding will be able to take care of yourself. Therefore, never pray to God for a particular thing, for individual things. He has already given all the necessary of your existence and creation to place you Lord and Master of all things. Then why worry with him and further pray for things? It is a waste of time. It is annoying and it's disgusting to God, if God can be disgusted. Seek ye first wisdom and understanding, and all life will unfurl itself to you through God. The mind and the soul are receptacles of understanding and wisdom. Cleanse them with protection and approach the source who give it to them, and you shall be eternally blessed. The heavens are angels, are good spirits of earth and other planets who have passed through their probation of original life. No man on earth is an angel. The angels are spirits and not man. In taking the initiative, lesson 14. So it's all on you. Whatever you want to do in this world, it's all on you. You just had to take the initiative. Always look a man in the eye. It's part of hypnotism. That's according to Marcus Garvey. God already gave you the power to be Lord and Master of self. So you can't say there is no God. According to Marcus Garvey. You know what I'm saying? But he also say try to help yourself, and only when you become completely satisfied do you not have the ability of knowledge, wisdom, character, and strengthen yourself should you ask for help. So asking for help should be one of the last things you should do individually and as a group, because it's all on you. It's all on you. You got to say your will is your decision. Your decision is your intelligence. Your intelligence is your personality, and your personality is your self-confidence and your initiative. So always gather the facts before you make, always trying to make a wise decision. A decision that's, worth, that, you got all the facts, you got all to maintain judgment of what you can do. People always talk about, well, it's not right for me to judge. Yes, it is. You judge every day. Get out that stuff. You make a judgment to get up, go here and there and there. You know what I'm saying? Well, I can't judge other people. Well, you make judgment once again. You make judgment every day. You choose to eat chicken or beef, or however your eating habits is. You know what I'm saying? So stop with that stuff that where we don't have control of ourselves. Yes, we do. We do have control of our own self and our own being. You have choice. It's your self-will that gets you on through, and your self-initiative. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, never try to be a subject of a mental factor, because a factor may destroy your opportunities of self-reliance and self-initiative. We got to start thinking about this and analyzing. This is why I'm posting this book up here now. As the screen says, posted right now, up you mighty race, accomplish what you will. And that's got to be your self-initiative. And it got to be strong. You got to have no want. You can't play the role of a sucker, according to Marcus Garvey. You got to live your life to the fullest. So sometimes that does mean going out on a limb, and having a value in yourself and believing in yourself, the self-confidence and the self-initiative. But it all starts with yourself. And that's part of the power. The power that was within you that God gave you. You know, so utilize that. Take that and harness that energy, that that God-given energy that's within you to make it better for yourself as an individual. Then broadcast that out more and more to the group. Anyway, subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Much love. We'll keep coming out this book. Message to the People by Marcus Garvey. Peace.